You don't wanna see the bigger picture. If you don't, then you won't wake up slicker. Think it's easier, so it gets stricter. When you're trying to find a fix, yeah, I don't freaking wanna fix you. I just wanna be with you and be the one to kiss you. Don't get into this mixture, Johnny, find a better structure. Let her play with your heart, don't follow her instructions.
Coming up on the show, we got Franklin Correa, who is a third-degree black belt in ninjutsu, and he's also an indie filmmaker. I just saw one of his movies recently on YouTube, and I thought the storyline was pretty good. And, well, I invited him to my show so we could talk about his future film project and also some of his past projects because, again, like I said, I like his work. So everybody, don't go away because you have just entered the Mavericks Dojo.
Well, I'm not a master. I'm a third-degree black belt in ninjutsu under Grandmaster Dan McKeedy.
Okay.
He was one of the late, great Ronald Duncan's first black belts. And also he was one of Professor Visitation, who is the founder of VR Ninjutsu. He was one of his first black belts as well.
What style of ninjutsu is that?
Well, VR Ninjutsu is a jiu-jitsu style. Ronald Duncan was, I believe, Kokoru.
Okay.
So I come from the Kokoru. I come from the Kokoru clan, basically.
Oh, wow. That's pretty hot.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you heard of Shihan Felix Vasquez.
Yes.
Yeah, like he's like an uncle to me, basically.
That's O Sensei, right?
Yeah, O Sensei Felix Vasquez. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's pretty well known in the martial arts circles.
He trained with my teacher, who like when he was younger, because like it's a long story, but basically my teacher's his elder, and he came under Ronald Duncan with my teacher, but since my teacher was his senior, he trained with my teacher, and they're like kind of like it's like his older brother type thing.
Uh-huh.
So we're all one big family.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty hot. Pretty hot. You said that your inspiration for all of this stuff that you do was Carlos Rey Norris, also known as Chuck Norris.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even know he was like part Latino. Like it blew my mind when I found out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, Alex, growing up, I mean, like I don't know if you remember Kung Fu Theater.
Of course.
Like every Saturday, I'd be watching Kung Fu Theater, and I love the Kung Fu and everything, and it's all right. That's what made me want to get into martial arts and stuff like that. But when I finally saw this blonde hair white dude throwing kicks and punches, and I was just like, yo, who is this guy? They was like, oh, that's Chuck Norris. He was like world karate champion. And then I saw him, him and Bruce Lee fight and everything, and I said, look, I gotta find more movies on this guy. And I just like went ballistic with him. Like I was like, yo, I want to be just like this guy. There's not a lot of guys like him out there. I believe at the time it was just him and Joe Louis were making movies. That was it. And that was early 80s.
Yeah. I think we all have a pretty good memory of what his movies were like, and they were very inspirational,
Yeah, I don't think, I don't think there's one Chuck movie that I hate. I love all his movies. They're all different, even though he has the same macho, one-man army type thing. Growing up as a kid, you look up to that, you're like, oh man, like this guy is like badass, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Force Vengeance was my favorite one.
Force Vengeance. Like I always wanted to remake that. Like out of all his films, I've always wanted to remake Force Vengeance. Of course, my all-time favorite, Lone Wolf McQuade.
And I love that one too.
And of course, what was that? Invasion USA. Those are like, I would like one of my bucket lists is to actually meet this man before he croaks or passes on, and I'm hoping that that'll happen. But it would be just like an honor. I think I'll cry.
Wow, you and I both.
Yeah. Also, he inspires you too, huh?
Yeah, I love his work. His career in the past. His my favorite one being Forced Vengeance, and then I would say when he fought Bruce Lee in Return of the Dragon.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he got some hits off of Bruce Lee there. So.
Yeah, and the thing is that it was so realistic. Like, you know what I mean? Especially when Bruce tore the hair out of his chest and then blew it at him. That was hilarious. But they went in, man, and they were good friends, so they knew what they was doing. So.
You don't need nobody else, chick. If his heart melts, it smells his sick and needs. So he found till you spell too quick. But he needs to sell himself because he loves you. How he found himself confessing someone else and with some other chick. Who the hell you think you is? Oh, excuse me, pardon, miss. What I missed? Do you wish for a Christmas gift? I must confess, I don't have on my list for you, but I got your call for Christmas, and you must pay your dues. You seem that only dude who's only kinda rude when he raps and spits chick. Let me speak to you on this stupid beat. I rap senses, hope you have sense, enhance your senses. Is why you asking.
Who'd you study 52 blocks under?
Oh, I self-study that.
Okay.
I self-study that.
Cool.
I've been trying to find a school, but the thing, there's so many. Like, I wanted to train under this guy. He's like one of the top authorities on his name is Light Burley.
Yeah, I interviewed him in one of my shows.
Yeah, I always want. I talked to him, like he's a friend of mine through Facebook. I inboxed him, and I said to and I asked him. I said, listen, I want to study this at two blocks. I've been wanting to study before it was 52 blocks. They called it Jailhouse Rock back in the early 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
And I reached out to this guy named Dennis Newsom, and I asked him, I said, look, is there any books or anything that I can study? And he came out with this whole philosophical thing. He was like, oh, it's only for black people, just like Kung Fu is for Chinese people, or maybe in 20 years you can learn it, but right now you can't learn it, and I won't teach anybody who's not black. So I was like, all right, fine. And come along 20 years later, Light Burley and Mr. 52 changed the name from Jailhouse Rock to 52 Blocks, and, it blows up because of the Protected 2, and my friend Maurice Crump showed a little bit of it, and I was like, damn, this, I'm more of a hands guy, so I was like, this is right up my alley. So I said, Light, I want to train. How much would it cost to train? Where do you train? He tells me, okay, I train at this park, and I'm like, okay, well, how much and what time do you train? Never answered me again. I responded to him 2 more times. He never got back to me, so I said, okay, you know what, this guy, he seems like he's really busy, so I'm not going to reach out to him. And then all of a sudden I saw some infomercial for studying online, a tutorial course. So I started doing that with this guy named he's real old. His name is Born Justice.
Okay.
And he's like one of the foremost on 52 blocks. And I've been doing that, and I don't know how it's going to look on camera, but it is what it is. If it's going to look good, it's going to look good. But I'm wired for myself because it's close quarter combat, and that's what people know me for, especially the film critics. They're like, oh, it's fight scenes are close quarters.
Talking about movies, I like your movie, and the style. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm mistaken?
Yeah, I mean, the one scene that I like is when because you're the protagonist in the film, right?
Well, all I'm trying to do is get home all I'm trying to do is get home to see my mother for the holidays and her birthday, and the past comes back to haunt you, as the tagline says. So
that girl, when the guy broke her neck, that was crazy, bro. I was like, my goodness, it got me pissed. Yeah,
you told me that. When you said it bothered you, I was like, a lot of people, because she's like, he got to strip down to her panties, and she's crying, and then all of a sudden, he says he's gonna let her go, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna let her go, but not breathing, and then snaps her neck, and it's like, wow, like if you were there when this went on, when we did the fight scene, like you had to feel the energy in the room, I mean, man, I actually when I caught his arm, and I key locked his arm to do the arm break, I actually elbowed him in the face several times for real.
Wow.
Yeah, because like it was so intense. Like, you know, I mean, I had water in my eyes, like, because I like to get into my characters. You know what I mean? Like, and all my characters that I play are like I'm like method. I'm a method actor. So like, if I see the character as somebody who's like really overweight, then I put on the weight. If I see somebody who, you know, acts a certain way, then I do that, and that's the way I do my characters. But I felt this guy's pain, and you know, I had to keep on apologizing because he's from Philadelphia as well, and he was wearing the gold grills, I think they call them, the gold caps. So every time I elbowed him, they would like cut his whole mouth up, and I would knock him off his teeth, and I was like, I'm sorry, but you know, he's a really good guy and a great martial artist, Dominic Wright. And, you know, he was very humble, and, he took his chops, like just like I did mine when he kicked me in my stomach several times for several takes. Was
that your first movie, or, because I liked it?
No. Actually, my very first movie, believe it or not, was called The Prey. And before Robert Rodriguez came out with Planet Terror, and he was doing started doing the Grindhouse, me and my friend, Bill Willis, we came up with this idea to make this, like, old-fashioned, like, 80s type of, 70s, 80s type, crackling, feeling look on film. And we mixed horror and supernatural with martial arts. And do you remember a movie called Surviving the Game, Ice-T?
Yeah.
Okay. Picture that movie, but with more of a supernatural essence, kind of like a brujeria.
Yeah,
with martial arts, basically. Mm-hmm. And that's what we did. And we did it to pay homage to, like, the movies of the 70s and 80s that we grew up with, like horror and action. So that was my first film. You can get that online at Amazon.com.
Oh, wow. I'll check it out.
Yeah, and then my second feature film was actually Flash Drive, which got picked up for distribution worldwide. And, it was like everybody went crazy for it. I mean, there's no, I lost a couple scenes and whatever. It's not as long as it's supposed to be, but it was really done very well, and we had a great time doing that with my friend Emilio Pontero, who's actually the gun runner in Mistaken, who's also the executive producers on my films.
Wow.
So if you get a chance, I mean, you can always go on YouTube and Google my name, and all the trailers come up, and a whole bunch of shorts that I did fight choreography and wrote or directed. Because I don't just do martial arts too. I like to reach out. I have my cooking show as well.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you that, man. I said to myself, this guy's a good cook. You're a fighter and a feeder.
Yeah, believe it or not, man. Like if you ever worked on one of my film sets, people would tell you,
would love to.
I cater everything.
Wow. Would love to work with you, man, one day. That'd be great.
Yeah, no, most definitely, man. My door is always open. Mi casa, you know what I mean?
And how often do you train these days? I mean, apart from making your films and things like that, do you still have to take time for training? And
to be honest with you, I do the 52 blocks from time to time. I really don't have a school to train at because everything's so commercial now, and so I basically train on my own. My teacher actually moved out of Jersey, and he lives in some part of Pennsylvania. I forgot what it is. It's going out towards going out west or whatever. By the Pope, like past the Poconos though. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to get out to him to train. So basically, I just train on my own for right now, and you know, with the 52. You know, I'm trying to enhance my abilities with that because, like I said, I mean, all these schools around the area, not just my area, but probably your area too, like, they're all MMA or they're commercial and they charge like an arm and a leg just to come in and hit the bags.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? So it's a shame. It's a shame with you know, what martial arts schools have come to this day and age.
Yeah. I, you know, just because you know you mentioned it, and for the listeners, you know, my team, the freehand team, we excel at stand up. That's, you know, long distance, long range stand up.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, that's what we excel at. But we pretty much are all in the same game. You know what I mean? Whether you're doing BJJ or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you're more of you're a kickboxer, correct?
Yeah, we do kickboxing. Yes, we do have wrestling and catch wrestling and things like that in our arsenal. But yeah, we mainly work on stand up.
Yeah, see, at least you're saying that, you know, we're mainly stand-up and, you know, kickboxing, but, you know, we do have, you know, wrestling and grappling in our arsenal. That's fine, but, like, you know, at least, you know, you're keeping it real. Like these people, like, they'll start off, and I'll give you an example. I don't want to mention no names just in case they listen, but there's a school not far from me. The guy is a black belt in Horando. And oh my God, what the hell is that? Gumdo, I think it is. It's like Korean swordsmanship.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I go past the school the other day, and it's not. It doesn't even say that anymore. Now it just says his name and MMA, and I'm like, what? And, you know what I mean? Like, when the hell? And then all the swords and everything, all the black gis that they used to wear, you know, disappeared. Now everybody's wearing shorts. And practicing MMA, hitting the bags. They got a UFC, excuse my language, the UFC ring in the damn gym. And I'm like, come on, man! Like every school I go to has a ring in it. Not just like a regular kickboxing, but the UFC ring. And I'm like, come on, man! Like give it a goddamn break already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, I get surprised sometimes too when I see that. This guy has like a traditional school, and then you know, the next time you pop on by, he's got like MMA equipment or ring and all this other stuff. I'm like, you know, when did you become a coach? You know,
exactly. And, you know, I mean, I have a friend that you know, we started off in ninjutsu together. He's one of my, you know, closest friends in the world. But you know, he earned his fourth degree in ninjutsu. But at the same time, it took him like 10 years to earn his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and now he's like one of the foremost authorities on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under the Machados here in Jersey and in the tri-state area. And at least, you know, I can say him, he always said, you know, whatever, Guerrero, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but, you know, now he says Guerrero, BJJ, MMA, but the key thing for him is that he actually has people who come to him who are like boxing coaches or wrestling coaches, and they train with him in jiu-jitsu. But and then at the same token, they're actually working for him, teaching his students and him how to box and how to wrestle. And you know, what's the other one that a Muay Thai they were doing? You know, he got a Muay Thai coach too. It's like, you know, at least he has people there that know what the hell they're doing.
Right.
Not just somebody who earned their shodan or you know, as a master in one style and says, hey, I know how to elbow, kick, and punch. It's simple. No, it's not, you fucking idiot. Excuse my language.
It's okay.
Again,
it's okay. We don't have rules, so you're good.
Oh, okay. There's no rules. Okay. So,
Yeah, you should see my Master Wong episode.
I want to be myself. You know what I mean?
You gotta be yourself.
I don't want to be like, yes, hi, you know, on the phone with you. When you know, when I meet people, you know, especially like when I went to the Urban Action Showcase. Have you ever been there?
No, but I've been meaning to, because I've done a couple of films myself, short films.
Oh, okay. Well, you got to send them to me so I can see your stuff. So I can see your work, man.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that right after the interview, which we only have like 3 minutes left. But yeah, I would like to go to something like that. But you were saying, I'm sorry.
You know, I put Mistaken in there to the Urban Action Showcase, and unfortunately they didn't accept it. And then I found out I was kind of pissed off that the reason why they didn't accept it is because they said that there was like a blurred spot here and a blurred spot there. No, it's called a shadow of depth-of-field, you fucking idiot. If you don't know nothing about how to shoot a film, you shouldn't be talking. But anyway, they denied my film, but they gave me free all access pass to the place. I get there, I watch the worst fucking films ever, and these films won goddamn awards, bro. And I'm looking at people, and I go up to Grandmaster Michael D. Pasquale Jr. And I'm like, he's like, son, did you like the film? I'm like, no, it was horrible.
Wow.
And he's like, oh, well, you shouldn't say that loud because your Art Camacho will get mad. Listen, I respect everybody in this game, but if the film doesn't make sense and it's horrible and you got a big budget, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I'm like, look, I didn't like it. This is what happened, Boom, 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 boom. You don't like it, I mean, I'm just trying to, give you pointers.
Right.
But case in point, hopefully this year, I'll get my new film, The Case, into it, when we start shooting, and hopefully we'll have it done by October so we can get it in there.
Well, I can't wait to see more of your work, and this has been a great interview. Thank you so much for your time, Master Frank Correa.
Thank you. Thank you. Sensei Correa.
Sensei Correa.
Master Correa. I'm gonna have people calling me up like, when you become a master?
Oh, you're gonna get calls. After this interview, you're gonna get a lot of calls. But thank you.
I appreciate it, man, and I appreciate you, giving me the opportunity to come on your show. I mean,
Attention business owners. Reach over 100,000 martial artists a month by advertising with World Martial Arts Media. We can put your product, service, or event announcements in front of your target audience. Advertise with World Martial Arts Magazine, World Martial Arts Radio, World Martial Arts TV, or all 3 media sources for the biggest bang for your advertising buck. Visit www.worldmartialartsmedia.com and click on the advertising link to see just how amazingly affordable it can be.